Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here with my review of the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon 3, and I think this is one of the best DLCs of all time, and if you're someone who enjoys fun, then I would probably recommend this DLC. So for those of you who might have been living under a rock, there was a Hot Wheels expansion released for Forza Horizon 3. It includes a new area that you will travel to, just like the previous DLC models, just off the coast of Australia, and it is built completely out of Hot Wheels stunt track pieces. It also includes 9 brand new DLC cars and is a part of the expansion pass or can be bought separately. So I was pretty hyped for this DLC, and I think the team deserves a lot of praise for the out-of-the-box thinking that must have occurred to have something like this be put into Forza. No longer do we just have the simple car packs and the simple, easy-to-make rally expansions. We finally got something that feels like new Forza and not just more Forza. Now, Hot Wheels is a beloved company, and I personally grew up playing with them, and I know they've been around since the 60s, so it has a long legacy of people who have enjoyed the franchise, and maybe people who haven't, but are somewhat interested in having this wacky, crazy world incorporated into a game they already know. Now, the Forza Horizon series is definitely known for being the more arcadey brother of the Forza Motorsport series, and Hot Wheels takes that even a step further by introducing big jumps, loop-the-loops, and even speed boosts into the equation. You may even find a T-Rex trying to take a bite out of the track every now and again. Now, the structure of this expansion should feel very familiar to anyone who's already played this series. It'll have you competing in a series of races in order to reach a finale. Additionally, you'll also be competing in PR stunts, which will have you drifting and trying to get as much distance in a jump, or going as fast as possible through a speed trap in order to earn more and more fans, or in this DLC's case, medals. So that's another new thing that is in this expansion that's not in the main game, is that you're earning a certain amount of medals to progress through the ranks. And each race also has 3 medals for you to unlock. One is given for completing the race, one's given for finishing the race in first place, and then the most important one is the third one, which is attained by doing a certain task, whether it's completing a certain amount of drifts or reaching a certain top speed or even completing a certain lap time. And that's where I enjoy the new fresh feeling of these expansions, and more importantly, the Hot Wheels expansion. It adds an extra layer of depth to completing the races so they don't feel as monotonous. Another easy thing to like about this DLC is obviously the graphics. Forza Horizon 3 has always been a pretty game to look at, but the Hot Wheels vibrant colors even add to that and make it even more of a pleasure to look at. Now, Forza Horizon 3 has potentially made a name for itself as one of the greatest racing games of all time, and I would agree with that. So the natural transition into this new DLC and the fact that it's built on the same engine makes the racing and the driving feel incredible. And the fact that the tracks are super wide also allow for really fast turns and high top speeds. You'll find yourself battling against your friends' drivatars in tracks that would never exist in the real world, and that's some of the most fun gameplay you can have in a racing game. Now, as you've been listening, I've had a lot of incredibly good things to say about this DLC or expansion, but you know this wouldn't be a Macca review unless I nitpicked a little bit and told you about why the game isn't perfectly perfect. There's a couple of really small issues that I would have liked to see addressed, mostly to do with the UI. You may notice that there is a GPS map in the bottom left corner. The problem is that the tracks are orange and blue, and on the GPS it uses those same 2 colors to show you where to go, and they can sometimes be really hard to read on that map. Additionally, the racing line also goes from a yellow to a red when it tells you to brake, and it can be very hard to spot that on the track. Another thing I would have really liked to see, and maybe this is a future potential move for Turn 10 and Playground Games and Microsoft, is that this DLC is offered as a standalone. You can pay maybe $20 and just grab this DLC by itself, and that's the only thing you're able to play from this package. I think that would also be an incredible step and a really low barrier to entry for new players who are on the fence. My friend DOA mentioned having this as a standalone in party chat, and since he said it, I haven't been able to get that idea out of my head, and I think it would work brilliantly for this expansion. And since we were on the topic of slight issues, the traffic in the drift zones is still infuriating, and in this DLC, the open world navigation is a little bit more difficult because of how the pieces are arranged, and because the roads are multi-tiered, and there is a lot of different levels that you'll be driving on, some above others. All of those small issues aside, the Hot Wheels expansion is definitely an easy recommendation, whether you're a 40-year-old who played with Hot Wheels in their youth, or whether you have a child who is currently interested in Hot Wheels, or whether you're just a person like me who just likes to play a great racing game. The nostalgia kick and the foundation upon which this game is built on is enough to make this an easy recommendation, a great package if you're already buying Forza Horizon 3 in the first place, and please go out and play this if you enjoy fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Special thanks goes to Drop Dead Artemis for supporting the show on Patreon, and hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace!